Hey Fit Fam and Scotiabank family, we're Ethan and Dekel Quant.
Your favorite fitness duo. Ethan and I have developed a strong muscle navigating and mastering physical fitness. But today we're calling in the experts in finance to guide us as a couple on financial fitness.
In this 3-part series, we are going to be sitting down with financial experts from Scotiabank to bring you practical advice on managing your money as a family.
From spending habits as a couple to getting it right with money, we're covering it all. So tell us, are you financially fit as a couple?
So grab your spouse and your favorite snack and join us as we chat with Scotiabank's experts and share our own experiences.
Let's get fit financially with Scotiabank. The topic for this episode is merging finances as a couple, and joining us today to share her expert advice is Miss Denise Russell. Hi, Denise.
Hi, how are you doing?
We are good. Are you good, Ethan?
I'm excellent.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So Denise, why don't you just introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Denise Russell. I am the manager of personal banking at our Scotiabank main branch located Rawson Square. So I manage a team of personal banking officers where we provide financial solutions to our customers.
So we're talking about merging finances, right? And so when, as a couple, is a good time to actually say I do to merging finances?
Oh, Ethan, that is a very good question. Well, I believe a good time is when the couple is ready, right? And what do we mean by that, right? So the couple might be in a long-term relationship and they're ready to take their relationship to a next level. Basically, when the couple is ready, I think that is a perfect time for them to consider their finances.
Do you see a lot of that, though? Like before, I know traditionally probably marriage is considered the time to merge, but do you see a lot of people merging pre-marriage, or is it more common for like engaged or married couples to merge?
Well, Dekel, I see I've been in the bank for a number of years, and even based on my personal experience, I see that it's based on the couple. A lot of persons, based on the dynamics of the relationship, they feel that it's a good time to start when they want to start. Mm-hmm. So the right time is really up to the couple. But certain things I think a couple should look at.
When did we start? We had a joint account before you got married, right?
We did not.
We didn't?
No.
Oh, never mind.
We got a joint account. No, after marriage. We got our first joint account. Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, because your name ain't changed. Your documents are still in your. I mean, I just saying. That's why I forget.
Marriage. It was after marriage for us, and for us, it was an emergency savings joined together.
Okay.
So, but what would you recommend if a couple does decide to merge their finances, get a joint account? What would you recommend they use that account for?
The couple have to look at their financial goals. What do they want to achieve? So a couple may want to, if they're not married, they may be planning for their wedding. It could be used for that. It could also be used just to, as an accountability with the couple in terms of keeping good records with their expenses. Like I said, saving towards a major purchase or perhaps a major event. So it's really up to the couple. But the key is determine what the financial goal of the couple is. So what do you want to do with this account? Like you said, for emergency, that's a pretty, very, very good idea to have a joint account for emergency. Another could be the wedding expense. You want to make sure that, I'm sure you would have had a beautiful, beautiful wedding. And that's not.
Why did you laugh at that?
I mean, it was beautiful, but I mean, we didn't break the bank on our wedding.
It was kind
but you planned for it, was right?
But
you planned
it
for
was
it.
really expensive, but it was small.
Really? It wasn't really.
It was really expensive
Well,
for 25 people.
Whatever the.
Denise is like, all right.
Yeah, whatever the appetite was, you might have. If you want a big wedding, a small wedding, I think you need to plan. Yeah,
Right.
you're going to plan.
Gonna cost something.
And at the end of the day, I think you should concentrate on the marriage, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So what do you want to do in the future? You want to rent? You want to purchase a home?
Do you want to invest?
Invest. Go on vacations from time to time.
That's my language.
Right?
Yeah.
I see
A
that.
lot of time.
Yeah. Y'all work hard, so I know y'all
Yeah.
play hard. So you have to plan for those. And though a joint account is optimum to, to save towards that. Now, how do you determine who puts what in that account?
So Denise, now when we're talking about merging finances, right? What are 3 things that couples should actually talk about before they go down this long, long road of merging finances?
Oh, Ethan, that's a beautiful question. One, they need to talk about their financial goals. So in general, they need to be on one page. And in order to be on one page, you have to discuss. Because I may have a goal of living somewhere luxurious, while you may just have a goal of just being in a so-called bachelor pad, right? So they have to, in order to do that, they have to have a conversation. And in that conversation, you have to be transparent, honest about what you see your financial goals are. Secondly, they need to be transparent about their spending habits, right? So I know when I was in a relationship, I loved to spend. I love shoes. So I just buy shoes. And my partner loved sports, so everything was sports. And the money was just going everywhere, right? So we had to understand each other's habits. Once we knew the goals, some of those habits had to cut back in order for us to achieve those goals. So you have to be transparent about your habits, and you have to be committed to streamlining some of those habits, what we call delayed gratification, right?
Sacrifices.
Yeah, sacrifices. And thirdly, you got to be honest and transparent about your debt. Right? So, in being honest and transparent, we can't have that secret credit card somewhere and your partner doesn't know about that credit card. Or even that stash somewhere, under the rock hole or under the pillow that your partner doesn't know about. So those 3 things, I think a couple needs to have a conversation and be transparent, be honest, before merging any expenses. And those will be the starting foundation towards having a successful joint account.
I hear that, and I think definitely my wife and I have different money management styles.
We have different relationships with money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned you and your previous partner y'all both were spenders. We are definitely, one of us, I think we're both to a degree spenders, but one of us is more of a saver, of course, than the other.
I am not a saver. You could call me out. She's a saver. So I know how to make
I'm
money.
more of a saver.
I know how to make money. She knows how to save and spend money.
Okay.
I like spending his money.
I know,
saving
right?
my money.
I know, right? I know, right?
No, like that's real talk right there. That
Yeah,
is, she does that.
Yeah, but so with that dynamic, I know you said having the conversation, being honest, being transparent, which I think we do a good job at.
Yeah.
Having the conversations,
Definitely.
the actions after the conversations sometimes may waver a little, but we're good with having the conversations. But what would you suggest for people in that scenario where one person is a saver, one person is a spender, beyond having that conversation about their financial goals? How does that dynamic typically pan out with merging finances?
Well, definitely, a couple needs to create a budget and stick to that budget, all right? And in that budget, you have to be realistic. So you have your expenses, then you have your expenses will be your rent, your utilities, those needs that have to be taken care of. And in that budget, you want to have leeway for some spending that y'all could agree upon, right? So whatever you decide on, you want to stick within that parameter. And of course, you don't want to be too tight so your budget has to be flexible, and to put emergencies in there. Something happens, you might have to go to the doctor or whatever it is. You want to make sure that that budget is tight. And in this relationship, you want to be transparent and be honest and try to stick with it. So what I usually tell couples is before they even start, you want to keep a journal, perhaps maybe at least a month journal on what your spending habits are. And that way you'll be able to come up with your budget and set your financial goals in order to make this work. And a joint account is ideal because you contributing, your spouse contributing, or your partner contributing, that will help, help everybody to be accountable for achieving their financial goal. And like you said, you might be the saver.
I am
so
the
that
saver.
task, if I was Ethan, that task will be assigned to you because we all have roles, different roles that we play in our relationship. All right? So
The task of journaling would be assigned to me? Or
no,
like
the task of ensuring
everyone
that
does their part.
everyone does their
I'm good
part.
at that. Mhm.
Yeah.
So, all right, because literally we just had the conversation the other day.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, about the fact that we are coming up very soon on our 5th anniversary. right?
Congrats.
How soon?
Very soon, couple of days, and so every year we do sit down and we have a planning session where we talk about our goals as individuals and then as a unit, right? But then we have kind of been operating where if Dekel has something that she wants to do that's going to require money, I just assist where I can, right? But she did say, because she does love to travel, and I always go with her to carry her bags. But she literally just said that, maybe we should look at doing a travel account, right? And then that got me thinking, well, if we can do a travel account, let's do accounts for everything else, because we have other big goals that we want to do. But I guess, so the question is, though, Denise, when you have a scenario like that, where what all should you be not just putting into the joint account, but what all should the joint account be used for? Like, if we have, do we have multiple accounts based on the goals that we have? Or do we have one account that handles everything? Like, how should we approach, I guess, how many accounts we
Right,
should be having in that regard?
Right, that's a good question, Ethan. So it all starts with the couple, right? So when you have that conversation, you're going to decide how many accounts you would like to have. Some couples would just want one joint account where all of the income goes in that account, all the expenses comes from that account, everything goes. I think a minimum of 2 accounts is required. One for your expenses, one for your savings. However, you have couples who want to just come together for saving for
Specific
a
thing.
specific task, and then I call it hybrid. They want to keep the incomes separate because they still want to feel, have their independence, which is
Which one we is?
it's all up to the couple in how they want to manage it, right? So again, it's coming to the conversation and agreeing of what you want to do, because there's no one solution that fits any couple. A couple dynamics is the couple dynamics. The key is you want to be transparent and you want to communicate. And things happen, so you want to keep this flexible. As you communicate, if changes come about, so if Dekel now has this big contract and she's making more money.
I receive it.
Yeah. She's going to tell Ethan. And then you're going to
Denise
know
is
how.
I hope she would tell you.
Then you're going to navigate and pivot to
Yeah.
make that, a reality. And as other things go on, you want to have kids or whatever, it's dynamic. The key is you want to have that conversation with your partner, because nothing is worse than not knowing. And when a situation comes, you want to be like, I thought you had it.
Yeah.
All right?
I'd say I think we did a pretty good job, especially at the start of this year, where we decided, okay, well, this is, as far as budgeting goes, well, I wouldn't necessarily call it, I don't think we had a very comprehensive budget, but we did discuss who's responsible for what.
Oh, that is awesome.
And so, but it wasn't a situation. So, if like she has certain things that she has to cover as far as her responsibilities, and then I have certain things that I need to cover as far as my responsibilities. But what happens when, for some reason, or what would be your advice for some reason if something kind of falls through the cracks, right? Because you do have these things that come up unexpectedly that aren't regular or reoccurring expenses. So when there's some sort of, surprise or something that comes up, how would you suggest couples navigate that? Is that something? Because I think we follow the hybrid model in terms of, our incomes aren't in the same account, but we, would be putting something towards an account for a specific purpose. But if something comes up that isn't, a regular occurrence, like I said, how would you suggest couples handle that if the goal is to ultimately, merge the finances?
Well, first of all, sometimes something happens with either spouse, all right? And then something happens within the relationship. It all comes back to the communication. So, number one, you have to communicate with your spouse or your partner what's happening. Number two, remember we talked about the budget, and a part of that budget, whatever percentage you decide, minimum, I would say 10%, you want to have at least 10% in your budget allotted to emergencies. And if that is not adequate, if you're dealing with a hybrid situation, then you communicate, honey, what percent you're going to be able to put through what you're going to be, because this is us. Yeah. This is an us situation. So if something comes up, then we as a team, as a partner, we try to resolve it. So bottom line, Ethan and Dekel, communication. I think that is the secret to joint accounts. Another thing too, when you establish that joint account, it's important that you determine how the signing authority on that account is going to be. Right?
You laugh at that.
Because I think that's important. I was going to get to that. Like, I don't, who could sign what? Anybody could sign. No, coming from the bank, I could appreciate that. Yeah, because, and I guess that aspect of these is important because, the reality is that we live in a time where marriage or being together doesn't hold as much weight as it used to, right? In terms of the traditional values that we grew up with. Now, fortunately enough, Dekel and I have very similar values, and we know what the ultimate goal is, right? Like, divorce is not an option. But in instances where that is a real concern, how do you manage that? I mean, because is it, and I know you could have different scenarios, but how can both parties safeguard themselves against getting wiped out from the other party, even if the communication is there?
Yes.
And it may not even be something that's ill-intended. It could be as simple as, I misunderstood. I thought that,
miscommunication,
it was a miscommunication or whatever. But how deep do we need to get to make sure that everybody involved, both partners, are confident and protected and know that their interests and their money is actually safe?
Well, at Scotiabank, if you open a joint account with us, we have an excellent online banking platform that supports the transparency. So you could monitor how that account, you could track it, how that account, where the funds are, the inflows, the outflows of that account. Like I said,
alerts.
You could set up alerts Dekel, sound like you bank with us. Thank you very much.
I get them alerts, yeah.
But before you even open that account, if it's going to, a joint account, you want to determine whether one signature is needed to withdraw or two signatures is needed to withdraw. That is key.
Do you find most joint accounts require two signatures?
No.
Really?
Typically, most couples agree because when they come in to open that account,
they're
coming at a happy time.
They agree in front of y'all, or they agree before? Because I feel like two signatures is fair. I don't know. That's just me. I feel
like two signatures.
Or is it inconvenient for some?
Well, it would limit you. It would limit you because if you do need to withdraw from that account, you you will be challenged.
With two.
Yeah, with two signatures.
Okay.
So a lot of couples, and when you open an account, you're coming in at a happy time,
Yeah.
right?
And at that point, you feel like you
the
trust
trust
that
level
person.
is
Yeah.
there, everything
Yeah.
is there. So most persons do one signature.
Denise, they just give you all counseling training. Like
I feel like I'm a
sure,
therapy.
yeah. I mean, because even your voice is so soothing.
Financial
Like
therapy.
I feel like, but I'm sure that there are certain times that you feel like you're a therapist or a
Oh,
counselor.
yes. Oh, yes.
A couples counselor,
Yes,
because
yes.
this is a big deal.
Yes.
and
It's a
so.
sensitive
Yes.
topic,
Very sensitive.
intimate thing too. Yeah.
And so, your role as let's say a couple comes in, like what role do you take on, even though you're a banker, you're a Scotiabank team member, but I feel like you got to be so much more for couples, because like I said, so we should look at you in your role as what, just our banker or our advisor or because I sure you wear a lot of hats.
Yes, multiple hats. So consider me your financial advisor, your support, your partner as you journey towards your financial goals, right? So even this took a number of years to get there, right? So I've been with Scotiabank for 27 years.
Nice.
So I've seen a lot. I've helped couples achieve a lot. One of the key things is listening, and the couples allowing you to be a part of their journey,
Trusting you
right?
to be a part
yeah.
of the journey.
So they trust us, and like it's over a period of time. So we try to stay in touch with our customers at least every 90 days. Some couples require more, and just hold your hand through the transaction, right? So yes, I do. I am
Your
a
financial
financial
So
therapist.
so you can literally take a couple from opening that joint account, saving up for the wedding, and then being married and saving towards
Having
getting
the
them all
children,
getting
going to university, the kids going to university,
getting a
yes,
mortgage,
getting
all of
all of
that.
through the whole, we call it navigating life journey.
Oh wow.
So Scotiabank can help you with that, and I have done that, and we are here for you and for whatever couple would like to come, right? So like I said, the first thing is we listen, we advise, and we provide sound advice and solutions. It's all up to you, and like I said, we're here for you.
Thank you so much, Denise. We hope that you gained valuable insights from our experts at Scotiabank today. But wait, we have a giveaway for our viewers. Scotiabank teamed up with me to give one lucky couple 3 months access to my Bowflex Barbie Flex Squad app and a merch bundle completely free of charge. Here's how to win it. In each episode, we share a keyword or phrase right here on the screen, so watch all 3 episodes to catch these keywords. Make sure you're following Scotiabank Bahamas on Instagram and share the keyword phrases for each episode in the comments. Don't miss your chance to become physically fit as you get financially fit as a couple.
Thanks for tuning in to the conversation on merging finances as a couple. Remember, merging finances is not just about combining accounts. It's about setting up your family for financial success.
So take the first step. Have that conversation with your partner and speak with your financial advisor at Scotiabank to help you on your journey.
If you want to learn more about the financial resources discussed in this episode, visit the Scotiabank website, bs.scotiabank.com.
Join us next time right here on Are You Financially Fit for more expert advice from Scotiabank.
Remember to follow Scotiabank Bahamas for more content like this and a chance to win our giveaway. See you next time.